So hey guys, today we are talking about Metaltronus. So Metaltronus was added to the game a little while ago. I kind of forgot it existed, honestly. But what it does is we can target one face-up non-token monster your opponent controls. So not sure why it has that line, but alright. Special summon one monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck that has two or more of the same type, attribute, and or attack, but negate its effects. And if you do, negate that targeted monster's effects. Also, after that, if these monsters have the same name, you can banish both face down. Your opponent cannot activate the target monster's effects in response to this card's activation. So your opponent cannot respond to this except with everything they have but that monster, I guess. Which is kind of like, But Metaltronus does have one really good usage right now, honestly. So if we take a look at Metaltronus, it is hard once per turn. Super, well, it's not super hard once per turn. It's you can only activate one Metaltronus per turn, not you can only activate this effect of Metaltronus once per turn, which is a huge difference. So if this gets the activation negated on this, we can activate another one. So that's something good at least. But this can be used to remove like Omni negates, and I guess we'll call them pile negates, so like Apollosa. This would be extraordinarily good for getting rid of Apollosa. Used specifically, this banishes face down. This can also be used to out some other things in a pretty nasty way. So let's say, for example, we're against Labyrinth. This would be pretty good because this is just for against any monster, right? And lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle is indeed a monster. Unfortunately, I guess it targets, so it can't really out a Lady Lab. Not that you would need it to out a Lady Lab. So the conditions are as follows that we have to focus on. Something with the same attribute, same attack, same type, attribute, attack. Those are the three things we care about for Metaltronus. So for Lovely Lab, I guess the level doesn't matter. The attack does matter. So something with 2.9k attack and dark. I cannot think of anything that... Oh, wait, there is one. Yeah. We can do a Typhon. If we have Typhon, this actually has 2.9k attack. It is dark, but we would keep our Typhon, and it would be negated, so it's not actually a problem to have. It just becomes like a big guy. If we really wanted to, we would be able to also convert this technically into a Zeus with like, let's see, 7 sins, I think? 10, 11. No, not 7 sins. I'm not sure if we can make something after 7 sins. This uses a rank 10, 11. Dark XYZ monster. No, I don't think we can rank up into anything else off of Typhon. But actually wait, Typhon into Typhon. Yeah, we should be able to out Lovely Lab. Lovely Lab not being able to respond, not really a factor here, but it will be banished face down, so it's like pretty impossible to kind of recover this Lovely Lab. You would have to be playing a second one if you get hit by the Metaltronus. If we're playing against, like, I don't know, a fire deck, I guess. Promethean is a Fiend Fire. I can't think of anything else with 2.7k attack. Doesn't really come to mind. Also, the special summons, so whatever we summon from the extra deck, it should not count as properly summoned. So that is a thing to consider. I feel like that could definitely come up. So ideally, I think we do want the extra body because it'll also banish our card face down if it is the same name. So with Promethean Princess, we would need something with the same type. So if I were playing Unchained, we would have a really good one with Unchained Soul of Sharvara being a fire and also a fiend and having nothing else in common. Well, we don't need anything else in common. It's not like Small World where we need exactly a certain amount of things in common. So this would be sufficient, I guess. It doesn't have the same name, so it won't get banished. And it has enough things in common that we can summon it, so this would work, and then we could banish our opponent's Promethean Princess face down. That would work. And also, worth taking note of is this isn't just useful for breaking in boards, because this is a quick play spell. We can use this to out any monster as our opponent is setting up their combo. So for example, let's say our opponent is playing Yubel. Yubel has a stat line of 0/0, and it is dark, and it is a fiend. So if this gets banished face down, the only way this can be recovered is by using Mature Chronicle's effect here, which a lot of people are not playing Mature Chronicle anyways. Not that I think you can super easily get to Mature Chronicle and get to this point to recycle the Yubel, but let's see. DD Crow. DD Crow is a Darkwing Beast with 100 attack points, so that's 100 too many. If it were a 0 attack point dark monster, then that would work. So how about let's see, what was this guy called again? Skullmeister. So levels don't matter. This is a Dark Fiend. If we were playing Skullmeister, honestly, Skullmeister is not the worst card right now. Skullmeister would be a target, and you would be able to special summon this, so that this would just genuinely just be a body. I don't know if there's anything like super ideal to summon off of Metaltronus, but we could do that, and it also outs lovely. But wait a second. Oh, Typhon also works for this anyways, because they're both Dark Fiends for whatever reason. So, yeah, Typhon. I figured out what Typhon's good for, I suppose. It's really good for Metaltronus, apparently. Because this is randomly just a Dark Fiend. This just is a great target for Metaltronus. Mind-blowing stuff. But, alright. If we want to out Apollosa, what would we use for this? So Apollosa, the attack will vary on Apollosa, so we would ideally have Wind Fairy. So simplest solution is to just have an Apollosa in the extra deck as well. But if we're really wanting to benefit off of Metaltronus, I guess we'll have to look. So nothing comes to mind for Wind Fairy, because, well, yeah, Fairy's not that well supported. Oh, Raffian the Time Lord. That's not useful. Extra deck wise, there is nothing except for Maple Maiden. I guess Maple Maiden is fine. Maple Maiden's cheaper anyways. But Maple Maiden is mostly going to just be a body, because the effect is not that cracked, right? Let's see. You can target one monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Your opponent must send one card from among its adjacent monster zones or spell and trap zones to the graveyard. Imagine someone saying didn't play around the Maple Maiden zones. Now that's whack. But actually, if you play around like zones in general, I think you do end up playing around Maple Maiden zones, which is kind of funny. Unless like you have like end board that takes up a lot of zones. For the most part, it just ends up happening naturally. Like if I were playing Kashtira, we would summon to middle zone, rightmost zone, and leftmost zone, and then the other two zones if I actually can extend that far. And also we use the EMZ, of course. So yeah, that's pretty awkward, huh? I guess I do place my spell and traps like leftmost, rightmost, and in the middle. And the reason behind this is pretty simple. Playing around Mech Knight zones. But yeah. Maple Maiden, good target to get rid of Apollosa with, I guess. There's not many Wind Fairies, are there? So next, I guess we'll look for a way to out Baron DeFleur. So Baron is going to be a Wind Warrior with 3k attack. So if we just have a Wind Monster with 3k attack, that would work, but what? That's pretty awkward. What monster fits that criteria? So we'll just check Wind Warrior first. I don't think we'll have many Wind Warriors, but alright. We have Stardust Charge Warrior, Junk Speeder, Turbo Warrior, Junk Berserker, Elemental Hero, Great Tornado. This doesn't do anything, and it also must be fusion summoned. This must be fusion summoned as well, so we can't summon any of these guys. Armed Neos must be fusion summoned. Oh, this one cannot be special summoned by other ways. Nope. Can't summon Divine Wind. Chevalier de Fleur. This is negate only on your turn. What? I mean, if it's negated, it doesn't super matter. But ideally, we would like something somewhat useful in our extra. I don't think I see anything super good. So the best thing I can think of is Green Ninja. And Green Ninja, honestly, not that bad of a card. The only issue is this takes up main deck slot. Otherwise, we would probably just put in pretty much anything, really. Anything that we like. I guess it would be a big guy or maybe just the Stardust Charge Warrior because it has a decent effect. Depends if you would make Synchro 6 or not, I suppose. But yeah, there are some pretty reasonable answers and outs to all sorts of things. So if we're playing the mirror, I can see that Metaltronus would just have like a billion free guys to kind of just out all of your opponent's guys with. So that's pretty handy, I suppose, to some extent. Quite honestly, simply because it's not only a going first card or a going second card, I think Metaltronus actually has some potential. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.